if a female service member had worn a shirt with a tie, dress slacks, generally male-looking attire, things not quite so form-fitting or trim-cut as most female clothing is made, something that's usually seen as more masculine attire, that would have been perfectly acceptable. It seems that it's just fine in the military community for a female to display more masculine traits, but for a male to do anything the least bit remotely feminine is wholly unacceptable. And I find this to be in contradiction of the military and the Marine Corps' policy on equal opportunity. I was told eventually by the staff members that an order had come down from senior ranking officers associated with that command that I was to no longer dress like that. I pointed out to the counseling staff and attempted to take it up the chain that per the Uniform Code of Military Justice and per the regulations governing the appropriate civilian attire for a U.S. Marine, I was not out of regulation. But because people were uncomfortable with seeing someone that didn't quite fit into the box that they were used to, I was ordered to change my clothing in what I feel is an abuse of those regulations. If I had let on at any point in my career, I spent the majority of my career as a sergeant. I was selected for Staff Sergeant, grade E6. However, because I was administratively separated for mental health reasons, my promotion, which I had earned, was frozen and denied. I spent most of my career in the Marine Corps as a sergeant in positions of management, serving at various points as NCO, non-commissioned officer or non-commissioned officer in charge, NCOIC, as it's commonly called within the service. And on many occasions I filled billets given to staff non-commissioned officers, senior enlisted. If I had ever let on to any of my subordinates at any point that I had feminine tendencies, I would not have been able to do my job. The service in general, which I cannot speak in detail on, but I can say for the Marine Corps, because that has been my experience, is a culture that is functions, it seems, runs, it's fueled by respect entirely. Respect is a currency, and how much of that you have determines how successful you're going to be. Basically, it can be broken down like this. I recognize that if I ever looked good for any moment as a sergeant, it was only because of the hard work that my subordinate Marines had put in under my charge. I was blessed in many cases to serve with several fine Marines of ethical character, good character, and good working mentality. Also, you rely quite a bit in the Marine Corps on your peers. You come to learn early on not to depend on your seniors. That is not to say that I didn't have a few very good staff NCOs that I will always respect, that taught me quite a bit along the way. But you're taught in the Marine Corps that you need to be as self-sufficient as possible, and that means operating at your level. and not relying on help from above. If at any point anyone of my peers or subordinates had caught on that I was more feminine in nature than they may have suspected, I would have lost all respect from both those groups of people. I would no longer have been able to function as a sergeant at the peer level with my fellow sergeants, because I would have gotten no support. And although you have to be as self-sufficient as possible in the Marine Corps, it's simply not possible to get anything done by yourself. It takes an ability to work with others, to work as a team, and to come to mutually beneficial agreements sometimes with other sections to get a mission accomplished. If you don't have that respect of your peers, then you don't have the assets available that you need to accomplish your mission. If you don't have that respect from your subordinates, then you don't have the manpower to accomplish that mission. Every Marine knows that there are plenty of ways to be legally insubordinate. It doesn't require very much imagination. And that currency of respect is a very valuable thing in terms of mission accomplishment. It simply it drives the Marine Corps. And with that knowledge, I was oftentimes placed in many situations where I had to go against what I knew was right for the sake of getting something done.
My name is Kathleen, and I am a registered Republican with a gay child, and I feel strongly about her rights as an individual, and I want to do what I can to make sure that everyone's rights are respected. I visited my daughter, who was living with her partner in Germany, and I was really impressed with the respect they received around their relationship. They got married there. The officials treated them with respect, with dignity. As a mother, I was thrilled that she had that experience, because I know she wouldn't and can't have that here. There are some states where she would be able to marry her love. California is not one of them, unfortunately, at this time. So I've been impressed by the willingness, or how much acceptance there is for LBGT in other countries. I mean, we're a big country. We set the bar in so many areas, but when it comes to our own personal rights as individuals, we're backward. We are not as progressive as many other countries in the world, and that makes me sad. We should be. We're smart. We're strong. Why are we biased? Why are we so prejudiced at this point? I also worry about my daughter being discriminated against in the workforce because she's gay, and there are only 26 states that protect individuals against fair employment against unfair employment practices, and I want there to be legislated equality, and I think it has to be legislated, because there are many people who have a bias, whether they believe it's religious or because they're afraid of whatever's different or whoever is different. So we have to legislate it, just like we had to legislate it back in the 60s, the civil rights movement in the 60s. So I strongly support ENDA, because it's important that we protect everyone.
My name is Fred